So a few weeks ago, I asked you guys at the end of one of my videos, what do you think? Should top 500 players be allowed to have one of their alt accounts also in the top 500? So basically, should one player be allowed to have 2 or more accounts in the top 500? I wanted to see what you guys think. And so today, we're going to bring up that topic, and it's going to be this video. Should top 500 players be allowed to have more accounts in the top 500? In the comment section where you guys posted whether or not you think these top 500 alt accounts should be in the top 500, a lot of you said that they shouldn't be. Every top 500 player should be a unique person, and that it shouldn't be one person with 10 accounts all in the top 500, and there shouldn't be any clogged up space taken up that way. It should all be unique players. And I was really happy to see that because I was thinking the same way. I think ideally, the top 500 players would be 500 unique players, and that's why we call them the top 500 players and not the top 500 accounts. So it does seem most people are on the same page about this community-wise, because if you even look back on Reddit and the Overwatch forums, the posts that were made about this topic, people tend to be leaning the same way. They want unique players in the top 500. Since most people seem to be on the same side about this, wow, that was a lot of S's, let's go ahead and look at the scale, there's another S, the scale of the problem. If you simply just look online and you do no research, you're going to find out that the top 500 consists of about 200 unique players, or 300 unique players. There's about 200 to 300 alt accounts. So we can almost just call it 50-50. 50% of the top 500 is unique players, and the other 50% is just made up of alt accounts. That's what looking online tells us, and I have to say, I think they're pretty far from the truth. The scale of the problem is really nowhere as big as they're saying. I went ahead and took a look at the leaderboards myself, and I'm looking at this current season's leaderboards as of 10/25/2017, and which is the day before this video goes up, and we're looking at about 50-ish alt accounts. That's what I could see. Those are the obvious ones. Those are ones where I know for sure, okay, this is probably an alt account. There's only been time on this account since like season 4 or 5, or it's a known streamer. Like I see Pegasus was like number 10, and I know that's Calvin's alt account. And then there's 150k, which is Sinatra's. And I don't want to spend the rest of the video talking about all the streamers and pro players alt accounts I know, but when I looked at it, there seemed to be around 50 accounts. So this problem, the scale of this issue is nowhere near as big as Reddit and the Overwatch forums are saying. And yes, even though the problem is not as big as everyone initially thought, I still think it's something that should be looked into from Blizzard. I don't know, having a completely unique top 500 list is really cool, but it doesn't really come down to that, because the question is, should the top 500 players be allowed to have alt accounts? And it comes down to, since they put in the time to play Overwatch enough on 2 accounts to hold 2 spots or even 3 spots in the top 500, should they still be allowed to hold multiple top 500 spots? Because I mean, obviously they're not doing anything wrong, they're just playing their best across multiple accounts, but they also happen to be, you know, one of the best players in the world. If they put in the time and money to play on an account and get it to that point, should it really be necessary to strip certain accounts of their top 500 accessibility? And that question is obviously bigger than me alone to decide. I mean, the Overwatch team has definitely thought about this. They've thought about everything. They're always tweaking, they're always changing, so who knows what they'll change in the future. But to me personally, I would love to see a completely unique top 500 list. But before this video ends, there is a little more to the story. So it's kind of a funny ending to the story here, just the last thing I want to bring up. There are people out there that think they can't get top 500 simply because there are alt accounts blocking them from getting in. So they kind of look at it as they're almost top 500, but they can't get it because their spot was stolen by an alt account. But if you know anything about the top 500, and everyone knows this because it's public information, if you pull up Overwatch and go to the leaderboards, you can see everybody's SR and you can see where they're placed at. You know that unless you're in like the top 50, there are like 10 ranks in each one SR, so it's like 4,295 has like 6 people in it. So literally one SR on the dot, one simple number has like 5 or 6 people in it. So if you win one game, you're climbing up like 40 spots or 30 or 40 spots, you know, it's something like that. So the people that say they can't get top 500 because there's 30, 40, 50 accounts maybe blocking them, It's just not true because, you know, again, one win literally climbs half 100 points. So if you see anybody saying stuff like that, if you think it's maybe unfair in that regard because it's not letting people get it, no, the people can still get top 500. It's just at the end of the season, you probably want unique players getting the top 500 rewards because you get the animated spray and whatnot, and that's kind of like the argument here. It's not really an argument of it's simply just not letting people get top 500. No, it's not really that, because you can get it. So that's really all I have to say about this topic. This is how I feel, and I was really glad to hear that a lot of you guys thought the same way about this, that top 500 players, or the top 500 list, should probably be all unique players, which is really cool. So I'm glad that we all see eye to eye on that, and that's really all I have for this video. So I hope you guys all have a great rest of the night, and take care everybody. See ya. I hope you're having fun with Destiny too.